Greetings and welcome to the first dividend portfolio growth video on stock investment analysis. In this video, we will review my dividend portfolio. I like to use a lot of graphs and charts to track my dividends and also use some creative ways to track my dividend progress, which I hope will be fun to see and give you some motivation and ideas for your own dividend investments. Before we look at my portfolio, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you never miss a future one. In my last video, I announced that there would be a contest to win a $99 lifetime platinum subscription to DivTracker, an app I use to track my dividends and which I will use in this video. The time of the contest is now. To win, you must be the first person to post in response to my pinned comment below the name of one stock I have bought in the last month. You can only choose one stock. If you need some hints, all the stocks I have bought in the last month are mentioned in this video, and two of them are also mentioned in videos I have done in the past 3 weeks. I specifically mentioned I was buying them in both of these videos. I will announce the winner in my next video, which I am planning to post on Saturday. Let's jump into the dividend portfolio. I also want to mention that this is only my dividend growth portfolio. I also have a growth portfolio which does not pay dividends and includes companies like Amazon, Google, Netflix, and Facebook. My third and largest portfolio is in an S&P 500 fund, which I may do a video on in the future. What we are looking at are the dividends I received this month, May 2020, on the app DivTracker. My last payment of the month is still labeled as estimated, but I will be receiving $1,236 this month in dividends. Arbor, AbbVie, and Energy Transfer are my 3 biggest payers this month. This calendar here shows you the days I was paid or will be paid. Boeing is listed on the 10th, but obviously they are not paying their dividends now. Since there are so many paying on the 1st and the 15th, here is a closer look at those dividend-paying companies. DivTracker also shows me some projections. I am looking at about $2,600 in dividends for this quarter and can expect almost $8,000 in dividends for the remainder of this year and almost $11,000 in dividends for next year. Bear in mind that this is if I don't add to my positions or reinvest my dividends. Of course, I'll be doing both, so I'm expecting considerably better dividends for this year and next. The app shows my annual estimated dividends for this year to be $10,588.89. As I have mentioned, I'm a dividend growth investor. Thus, while I have a mix of higher yield and slower growing companies and lower yield but faster growing companies, I'm generally looking for growth of at least 5% annually with a strong preference for double digits in certain sectors. About 2/3 of my stocks are growing their dividends by at least 6% and more than a third are growing their dividends by double digits. Switching to my Excel sheet, I'm showing you how my dividends in my dividend growth portfolio have grown. I started this particular portfolio at the beginning of 2018, which is in blue. You can see my first month of dividends only paid out $4.24. My 2019 dividends by month are in red and show a huge improvement over the 2018 dividends. My 2020 dividends are in green and are still growing quickly. You can see my most recent dividends, especially in May and March, are far bigger than previously because I've taken advantage of the drops in dividend-paying company share prices over the past several months. Because my quarterly dividend payments are very choppy, it is easier to assess my dividend growth by calculating my projected 12-month dividend income each month. That is what we are seeing here. As an example, in January of 2019, my investments would have earned $3,172 over the next year. 1 year later, in January of 2020, my investments would earn more than twice as much at $6,705. Now, only a few months later, I am projecting $10,589. Watching the dividends grow is very exciting and very motivating. The length of dividend growth history for the companies I invest in is important to me. This chart shows the histories of the companies I am investing in. 7% have grown their dividend for 50 or more consecutive years, 7% have grown them for 30 to 40 years, 14% have consistently grown the dividend for 20 to 30 years, almost half have grown it for 10 to 20 years, and 24% have grown it for 5 to 10 years. It is worth pointing out that of the 5+ category here, all but 2 are in their 9th year. In 1 year from now, they will all be in the 10+ category, so this chart will look very different in 1 year. This is my allocation by sector. The biggest sectors for allocation are financial, energy, and healthcare. Real estate is not too far behind. You may notice technology is quite small. That is primarily because this is my dividend growth portfolio and many tech companies do not pay dividends. I have those included in my growth portfolio. You will also notice consumer staples and consumer discretionary are quite small. This is primarily because I am waiting for lower valuations in these sectors. Over the past year and especially in the past few months, I have been seeing the biggest opportunities for energy and finance, and so this is where I've been adding my money on the drop in the share prices. I do hope to add more to these other categories over time as valuation changes across sectors. Here we see how much I am paid in dividends by sector. Real estate now plays a bigger role because REITs tend to have higher dividend yields. Others like technology shrink because most of my tech companies like Apple or Microsoft have very small yields. If you want to take a look at the portfolio by individual stock, here are charts showing allocation and yield by stock. I want to point out that for dividends by stock, this is somewhat lopsided because some of these companies have paid 2 quarterly dividend payments and some have only paid 1 this year. As a result, these percentages will be more even once they've all paid twice. I like to keep myself motivated with my dividend investing goals by breaking my dividends down in different ways. One is to calculate not just how much I receive per year, but also how much I receive in dividends per month, day, hour, or even minute. Right now, I'm making $1.21 per hour of every day. If I wanted to see how much I would be making if this was a 40-hour work week, I would be earning almost $41 per day, which is a $5.09 salary for 8 hours per day, 5 days per week. That comes out to 8 cents per minute. My very first job was a minimum wage job that paid me $6.75 per hour. I have a goal to eventually get my $5.09 up to $6.75 and make as much as I once did, but for the rest of my life without working. Another way I stay motivated is comparing my dividend income to median household income by country. These countries are listed beside their median household incomes. This is based on data I found online and it is several years old and therefore likely somewhat outdated. However, I like to use this as a point of comparison. When I started out, I was only earning a couple $100s per year. It might seem small, but when seeing how much others earn in an entire year of work, it really puts things in perspective. Not only does this give me goals, as an example, I'm very close to earning as much as the listed median household income for Poland, but this also gives me a great sense of gratitude. It reminds me of the opportunities I have, and most of you likely have if you're watching videos on investing on the internet. It also is very exciting to think that I might be earning enough in dividends to live entirely off of them in many countries. While I don't have plans to do so at this time, it does keep me engaged. This map shows all the countries that, based on the data I have, I would be able to live in with my dividends at a quality of life similar to that of many of the residents there. I'm looking forward to the date that this map is entirely red. Thank you for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions about dividends, my charts, or my data, my perspective, or my goals. What do you think of the way I broke down my dividends and portfolio? Do you have any suggestions? I look forward to hearing from you and learning from you. Don't forget to subscribe because I'll be creating new videos for you every week. As always, good luck with your investing.